What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to another video. Thank y'all for coming around. Thank y'all for coming in to tune in, being here again. I appreciate y'all, man. And today we're going to be talking about a memory from the exact same week as the last video, believe it or not. Now remember that specifically because it happened, how close it happened to the vacation that I went on right after this. So that day I went to the party and smoked with that guy that was a killer in the last video. That was like the 28th of June last year, like 2023. And I'm sorry, I usually don't have such photographic memory, and I don't even know why I'm mentioning this, but it's so odd that I remember it so specifically. And then literally 2 days later, we went to this party. It must have been like June 30th, I think, because on the 1st of July, we left for vacation. And I remember this was the day before vacation. So just days after we smoked with that killer, we end up getting invited to this crazy party. And when I say crazy, I don't necessarily mean it in like that good of a way. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean it was an absolute rager that everybody wishes they could have been at. It was an absolute disaster. And it just did not serve its purpose whatsoever. Now, to be honest, like it's mostly like a lot, like almost, maybe like 60% on the girl that threw this party. So basically what happened was, I had a good friend who was in my engineering group. He was in my class. Like I said, he was in my group. We had to work together all the time. And he worked at a Hooters. And my current girlfriend's roommate, Amy, she worked at that same Hooters. So apparently she had been flirting with my boy Andy up in there. And, you know, just talking him sweet or whatever was going on with my boy Andy. And he liked her too. So, you know, they were kind of talking at this time. And she had told me that when I went to visit my girl one time, and I thought that was dope. And then eventually, she got to planning a little get-together for us all to meet each other, and she invited me and my boy Andy, my girl, and a few of her friends, which, you know, ended up making things a little bit awkward here later, but we'll get into that. But yeah, this party was basically for a way for them to get closer and to know each other more. So, you know, we were definitely down for them to do that, me and my girl, so we were excited to go out to this party, whatever. Well, honestly, we weren't that excited, but it was what it was. So, we went out there. The party was way out in the boonies. We drove way out there to meet her roommate, Amy, and my buddy Andy was out there, too. And a few of her other friends were already out there by the time we got there. So, right when I got there, I just started throwing football with my buddy Andy. We were just throwing it out in this yard. It was way out in the country, so there was, you know, we had plenty of room. We could really do whatever we wanted to, although it was like a little hilly, like it was a little mountainous, you know what I'm saying? So it was a little rougher to play football on, but it was what it was. And then as we were playing football, this is like the first sign that the party starts to crumble down and to be, you know, really a nightmare, a disaster. It was not really a great party, if I had to be honest with you. So anyways, we were just throwing the ball, chatting it up, and then one of these girls rolls up in her car and her windshield is just shattered, bruh. And then she gets out and glasses all over the seat. And she had just hit a deer, like literally like minutes down the road before she got to that place. Because it was about sunset at this time. So we were just all like, damn, you know, like inspecting her whip. Like, damn, I'm sorry, bruh. That's sad. Like, that's terrible that happened to you. Obviously, nobody wants to hit a deer. You know what I'm saying? And then she didn't even stay at the party. She just rolled up and she was like, you know what? No, I'm going back home now. And then she just went back home after hitting that deer. So she didn't even stay. So this was all for nothing for her. Already, you know, first disaster of the party. First thing to just go wrong that we did not want to happen. But we had to get over it. We went inside. We talked for a little bit. We listened to some music. We just hung out. You know what I'm saying? Did our thing. And we start drinking. And I was smoking a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And probably one of her friends. I don't know. We were just chilling for a little bit. You know, doing our thing. Hanging out there. And to be honest, nobody here really knew each other at all. Except for like a couple of her friends, so it just kind of got awkward. Like we were talking a little bit and, you know, seeing who went where, but like I was with my girl, so it's not like I'm trying to like talk up any of her girlfriends. Like I really got no interest in even talking to you. You know what I'm saying? And then not obviously as friends, but like, you know, they're those type of girls that like aren't like cool like that. You know what I'm saying? They just seem weird. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really chatting up her, and it was actually just one friend. Now that I think about it, and then my boy brought two of his buddies that came. And they were kind of cool, you know. I got to talking to them a little bit. I actually got to know one of them. He's a cool guy, but it was a little awkward. It was like our first time meeting everybody, and it was, you know, just for a party where nobody was near drunk enough or near, you know what I'm saying, fucked up enough to handle this. We were still just sitting here trying to get to know each other for her sake, because she wanted us all here, I guess, so that she could get closer to my boy Andy. And this kind of leads up to the second disaster of the party. The second thing that goes wrong that made this kind of, you know, a nightmarish party, if I got to be 100% honest with you. So, Amy just kept drinking, and I think she'd already drank a lot before we got there, like a lot. So, then eventually we were just talking, you know, just chilling in the kitchen, and then she just threw up everywhere, like hard projectile vomit everywhere, all over the kitchen. Everybody's got to get out. You know what I'm saying? One of her best friends, thank goodness for her friend, because she is a saint for doing this, you know. Like, I would not have got out there and cleaned up this lady's puke, because it was just so much of it, and I ain't even, like, I'm not even that close with her like that. And I'm not even that much of a fan about her, to be honest with you. But, you know, I came out here for my girl, to be honest, and my boy. So, yeah, it was nasty. It drove us all out of there. And then I kind of felt bad for her. You know, she just went in the shower and showered for like 2 hours and kind of just hid in there and like was too afraid to come out because she had just thrown up. She just went straight in there. Her friend cleaned up her puke. And then we all were just like kind of awkwardly sitting there like, all right, what do we do now, guys? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was odd. So during this time is where, I'm not going to lie to you, the third disaster of the party happens, and this time it does involve me. This way, I cannot say though this was not. It involves me, but I can't say it was my fault. So we were throwing. Me and my boy Andy went back down to the basement with a couple of his buddies too, but they were just like laying on the floor in this basement. It was kind of like a big ass basement. It wasn't even technically a basement because it was like so hilly. It just like went down to this like other area that you could see outside the hill because of how steep it drops off. You know, I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but. Yeah, we went down there, and it kind of had these high ceilings, and it had, like, this kind of, like, not chandelier thing, but, like, a little, I don't know, overhead big light thing cover, like a big glass cover to it. We were just throwing the ball back and forth, and on one of these throws, my boy Andy, bruh, and I will be honest with you, he threw a perfect spiral on this ball, but it still did not exactly land how we was hoping this was going to land. So he throws a perfect, you know, undividable spiral on his ball, and it just slices that light, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. It just sliced through the light, and then it shattered everywhere, but the ball kept perfectly spiraling. Like, it just went right through. It literally phased through it and into my hands, and I caught the ball. It was perfect. It was crazy. But so we also broke that, and this was like her grandparents' house. This wasn't even her house. Like, she was like house sitting for them or something, which, bro, that's the easiest thing on earth. I don't even think they had dogs, bro. They didn't. I don't think they had any pets or anything. Like, I'm dog sitting right now making this video for a very nice couple that gave me the opportunity, but she was just house sitting for them and getting paid to do it too. Like, and she can have friends over, like parties, whatever. That was a cool situation for her. Shout out to her. But yeah, so it wasn't even her place, and we broke this light. And she still hadn't come down. We were still in that awkward phase where she was on that 2-hour shower, and we were not hearing from her. So we just went back upstairs again, and we were all like, well, shit. We were playing like this weird, like, not board game thing, but I don't know, this weird little interactive game thing together. And then eventually, while we were playing that interactive game, I remember, now let me make sure, fellas, while I'm recording this live, let's test. Yes, I'm right. Yep. I was going to say, because this was the exact night that Lil Uzi dropped Pink Tape. Because I remember it was around this time, it had just turned midnight. And we're like, she came out, it was maybe 12:30 or something. And we're like, yo, welcome back, Amy. Lil Uzi dropped Pink Tape. And we were just listening to Pink Tape or whatever. So yeah, I was right on the date. I'm telling you, I got a crazy memory with that, June 30th. But, yeah, Lil Uzi had just dropped Pink Tape, and we were bumping it. She finally came back out and talked to us for a little while. But honestly, bruh, I was just like a little messed up, and I was tired. I had worked all day that day too. I think this was like a Friday night. I had worked all day that day for 8 hours that Friday. I was tired. I still had to roll all the way out here and go to this lame part I low-key didn't even want to go to, and then it was a giant disaster. And then, yeah, we ended up, me and my girl, we were like the first ones going to bed at like 1 a.m., but we were just like, nah, we're beat, and we took one of the bedrooms. I think we slept in like her grandpa's bedroom, which, sleeping up in another, you know, older man's warmth and scent, and, you know, and it's not nice, and it's not often that I do that, but it happened, and I'm not gonna forget it, and I wish I would. So, fellas,